welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Sim. Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Today, we're going to talk about Amazon's star-studded adaptation of the New York Times hit column and podcast, Modern Love. Lena Dunham like you've never heard her before, and the Instagram beauty trend now make you want to deck the halls. Plus, chef and Brooklyn Bugs executive director Joseph Yoon stops by with some edible insect dishes.
Oh, I'm nervous for that.
Yum, yum, yum.
We got some fun stuff going on today, and tonight our very own Lucas Tim will be bartending on Watch What Happens Live.
I'm staying up past my bedtime, and I'll be on. Melissa Gorga from Jersey Housewives, Leanne Lockett from Dallas are on, and
you'll be on them.
And I will literally be embracing
It's your
them.
Super Bowl.
It's my Super Bowl. Watch What Happens Live is my ESPN, my football game. This is what I live for.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun.
We're very
excited
excited
to
to
see
have
you.
one of our own out there.
Yeah, we're excited for you.
I'm fingers crossed hoping that you are going to be wet.
Yeah. Shannon
my
likes me
favorite
best
look.
when I'm soaked. So I'm
Yeah.
And
gonna
a
just
white
dump-
t-shirt.
White t-shirt,
Yeah.
soaked, yes.
Just nips poking out.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. You know,
You'll have to watch to
views.
see.
Yeah, tune in. In other news, Anna Kendrick is forgetting her days as a Bella. Bella's friend, that is. The Oscar-nominated star recently came to realization on Twitter, confessing, "Holy shit, I just remembered I was in Twilight." The Twitterverse was quick to reassure her that while Kendrick may not remember her role in the popular franchise, they certainly do. Users tweeted, "We didn't forget, you were our star," and the best acting in that movie. Wow.
Great tweets.
I love those tweets.
Was that a Pitch Perfect Twilight mashup joke?
It was.
I guess so. I didn't write it.
It was actually
You don't
great
wanna take
wordplay.
credit.
No.
It was great wordplay. Bella's
Not
friend.
a Bella.
I actually don't remember her from Twilight. Who did she play?
She played one of the non-vampires. She was just like a girl in high school who was like, "That's Edward. He's weird."
That sounds like her.
It
Oh my
sounds just
God.
like her.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, that's who she played.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the Twilight movies? I did see the first one and I really enjoyed it, but that was it.
I liked it too much.
What does too much mean?
Too much, like I watched it on a rainy day and I was like, wow, Kristen Stewart is like my muse. Like I was like so into Kristen Stewart. I'm still so obsessed with her.
I am obsessed with Kristen Stewart. I liked the books.
Oh yeah.
But the movies, I had wished they were better when I saw them.
I watched 2 minutes of it and turned it off. I can't deal with that.
It was a lot.
Teenage vampire angst now. Give me wizards all day. Harry Potter forever. Woo! Yeah!
Am I the only one that was Team Jacob, by the way?
Ew!
I was into the ethnically ambiguous wolf. I don't know. Like, that was more my... I was like, yeah, he's got muscles. I was into it. I didn't get, like, the skinny, pale thing.
If you liked Jacob, it was like really fucked up in my middle school.
Really?
Yeah, it was like Team Jacob. It was like the losers like Jacob.
Yeah, well, just physically, he was far superior. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in the books, like the second book, the whole book she just spends complaining that like she misses Edward, I think.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Is
Wasn't
that
that just the whole thing? And that she's just with him, he's total sloppy seconds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was fun to watch. looking back, you're like, why was I so into this? A girl just being like, I can't be without him, and him being like, I want to eat her. She smells so good. Yeah.
That's what it was all about, the smell. He loved
Yeah.
how she smelled. I was like, maybe it's her shampoo, you know? It's
Right.
not-
Isn't there? Did the author write the whole story from his perspective again? And the whole time he's just talking about how he wants to rip her apart and eat her.
That's hilarious.
Delicious. I think that happened. Am I
That
making
could be.
that up?
No, that could be because that apparently like dominates his thoughts.
Yeah.
But in those movies, though, like, so my cousin Ava was 10 when she watched it. I think it's kind of young, and my uncle did not totally know she was watching them. But when you get an app, Netflix account, and she was like, I walked in one day and she's like, look, Lucas, they were jumping on the bed and they destroyed the bed, and that was actually after Edward and Bella had sex and like his vampire strength destroyed the bed. I was like, ooh, Ava, sweetie, that's not what happened here. I'm not gonna explain that to you, vampire sex.
Well,
but,
50 Shades of Grey was like born from fan fiction from Twilight.
Right.
So it is like a very sexual kind of thing.
Literature, American literature at its best. But Anna Kendrick, I kind of found this to be like a little bit like a humble brag. Like, oh my God, I've been in so many movies, guys. I forgot I was in Twilight.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I don't think she actually forgot, though.
Of course not.
Some people were responding as if she actually did forget.
Right.
Some people were like, oh no, you need to eat more vegetables. It'll help the synapses in your brain remember things. Like, they were actually concerned. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay, shut up. Stop being so stupid all the time, people.
Her whole
forget.
brand of humor is being sarcastic and witty. So it's like you would think her fans would understand that she was joking.
Is she super sarcastic?
She's really sarcastic. I remember when she was on a press tour with Justin Timberlake for a movie they did together, and they were going back and forth so much, and you could tell that she was just sort of like laid back and doesn't take herself too seriously.
She was in a movie, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
She's been in so many movies.
She's been in
You know
so
what I was
much.
just thinking? I was like, wow, she sounds like such a tiny, sarcastic, annoying bitch. And then I was like, that sounds like me. I was like, I hate myself.
Do you want
I would cast her to play you in the movie of Bill Brunch.
Can you do your cups?
Yeah.
Start doing cups?
Oh my God, could you imagine her just doing that all day long? I got a ticket. Shut the fuck up, Anna.
Did you guys like Pitch? We do love Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one's great.
The first one. Yeah, the first one.
I haven't seen the second or third.
Yeah, I think I saw the second.
I've watched them all. Remember?
Yeah.
And then she just did that movie with Blake Lively. That was okay.
Oh my
What
God,
was
did
that?
anyone see that?
What was that? What was that?
The non-stop promotion of
Oh,
a-
The Simple Favor?
Simple
Simple
Favor.
Favor.
Look, I want
Did
to see
anyone
it.
see it? I want to know what the end was.
They
Like,
took it out of theaters within 20
because
seconds.
they made no money.
Oh
Did she kill
no!
Blake Lively? I just want to
I
know.
don't know.
No money. Is Blake Lively okay? What? It didn't make any money? Oh, man.
Yeah, she's still got her fashion. So
Style
Okay,
icon. Wait,
her
think she's style icon.
Oh
she's got
my
her
God.
fashion, so she's still
And her
thriving.
Pikachu detective husband. So.
I love them. Speaking of love, the New York Times Modern Love column and weekly podcast is coming to the small screen, and Amazon Studios has put together an A-list cast for the 8-installment series. Esteemed writer and actress Tina Fey and Ocean's 8 star Anne Hathaway will appear in the series, along with Lion star Dev Patel. The show, like the column, will explore love in all of its complicated and beautiful forms. Do you guys read the column or listen to the podcast?
I've read the column before. I haven't heard the podcast.
Oh, it is. I love the podcast.
Yeah,
The podcast, if you haven't heard of it, basically all these writers have submitted things to the column, so they've run in the New York Times, but then they have celebrities then read these columns, and then the celebrity will then give some insight into like why they chose this piece, and usually it's very personal. And it's just quick. I mean, it's like a 15-minute read, so it's something you can listen to like a couple on the way to work.
Yeah.
But they're all so beautiful. Some of them are romantic love, some of them are family love, some of them are like love with a goldfish, you know what I mean? It's like all different versions.
I really enjoy exploring love in all of its forms, even though I come across, I think sometimes as like a raging cunt. I'm such a romantic.
You just called yourself that, dude.
But you know what I mean? I'm like, I know how I come across, but I'm such a romantic.
I think if people know you though, I think you're quite romantic. Are you?
You're a
called her son.
softie.
Yeah.
You are a
Deep down,
softie.
honestly, Allie and I have had emotional conversations where she like teared up once, and I was just like being
yeah,
emotional with her.
sometimes I do tear up.
Yeah,
I
she
know.
cried. I've seen her cry.
We have seen the inside of it.
You have.
We have.
I mean, I'm excited to see the movie. I like things like this. I think it's interesting to like you said, like the wide variety of.
Yeah, I listened to one this morning and it was called How to Break Up with a 2-Year-Old. And it was this woman who started dating a man who had a 9-month-old baby. And she ended up kind of really falling in love with this child. And when things didn't work out, she had to then part ways with this toddler. And it was like
so sad.
how she
That's
processed
so
that and then
sad.
how she like moved on and had a family afterwards. And so it's these like super personal, relatable, kind of gut-wrenching sometimes stories, but they do a really good job at giving you a lesson at the end.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I hope the movie doesn't focus on that.
Yeah. Well, it's actually gonna be 8 standalone episodes. So each episode
TV show, sorry.
is a different story, which is kind of cool. And I've not listened to the podcast, read the article. I want to though. So like Tina Fey's gonna be one, and Emmy Rossum, the actress, is actually
Yeah.
directing an episode. So that's really cool. So this is kind of cool with like you're seeing Amazon, clearly a streaming service with Jeff Bezos owns the world with so much money, kind of investing in this new type of comedy, romantic comedy type of show. And also
Yeah.
you see the New York Times clearly is trying to find ways to make money and also invest in more content too. So it's kind of interesting whole partnership that they're doing with all of this.
Can I just say, you mentioned Emmy Rossum. When
Yeah.
I was younger, I know we've all had times when we probably went on chat rooms when we were 7. I would always tell people I was Emmy Rossum.
Like in the chat room? You'd be like,
Did
hey,
you
it's
love
just me.
Phantom
They'd
of
be
the
like,
Opera
who
that
are you?
much?
And I was like, Emmy Rossum.
What a funny actress for me to pretend to be.
I just thought it was believable because she's not that big, and I was just like, I'm Emmy Rossum, and they were like, no way, and I was like, way.
Like, I have lots of free time. I'm not auditioning much. Like,
Just got shameless here and there, you know, I'm cool.
But at that point, she probably didn't even have shame.
No,
it was
she
probably
didn't.
just Phantom of the Opera.
It was nothing. I don't know how I knew her. I just knew that name, and I was like, no one knows her enough that they're gonna call me out on this. And I was like, this is my alias.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That was OG catfishing.
You should still go back to chat rooms and do that now. I feel like people would believe it. They're like, she's not on the next season of Shameless. She's only directing a couple episodes.
This is Emmy Rossum.
Are there still chat rooms?
I don't know.
I'm sure
Probably.
there are.
Somewhere
Like
on the dark
conservative
web.
web
I
chat
mean,
rooms.
remember, what is the random Skype room? What, chat roulette?
Oh,
yeah.
Which
That's
we talked
still
about.
We're gonna bring that
around.
back.
Yeah, remember we talked about that? I would go on and just flash people.
I think it still
Those were
exists.
my bad days in high school. Kim K was doing ecstasy in Ibiza. I was in my bedroom with my neighbors flashing people on chat roulette. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, also one more thing, but with podcast TV, has anyone watched Dirty John? Does anyone know that?
I listened to
yeah,
Dirty
I watch
John.
that because you actually listened to it, and that's premiered on Bravo this past week after
know.
Atlanta. So is that good? Like, should I invest in the show?
Okay, so I think like a lot of these true crime podcasts are so
Oh, it's
interesting.
true
People
crime.
love
Yeah.
it. So and like just like Serial, I mean it's not just like
Right.
it, but in that same vein. And Dirty John is this woman, Debbie, her name is.
Right.
She marries this guy named John Meehan, and he's a total sociopath. He has this history of like dating and marrying women and then taking their money and exploiting them. And the whole podcast, her entire family's warning her against him.
Wow.
She goes against their wishes and marries him, and you listen to what unfolds, and it's so disturbing and interesting.
Does she die?
And no, she doesn't die. She's on the podcast.
Okay.
That's not a
Okay.
reveal. She narrates the podcast, and they now have a show about it on Bravo. And I'm so excited. Connie Britton's in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's
Eric
that.
Bana.
Connie Britton, yeah.
It's that show.
Yes.
Yes, I
It's
love
really-
Eric Bana.
It's gonna be so. Actually, that's the one show that I think all 4 of us would really
Yeah,
love.
I'm in.
And
Let's
it's-
all watch it and then have like a book club thing after.
But I also love that Bravo's doing it because like you're watching Atlanta Housewives. If you like, there a lot of dramas happening. Portia's boyfriend apparently slept with a lot of women. All this stuff's happening. She's pregnant. And then it goes to Dirty John, like serial killer, sociopathic, scripted, dark Connie Britton shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is just a great 2 hours of TV.
I
you
do
can just
like
watch
that.
back to back.
I like that a lot.
It's so good. I'm excited.
Did you guys watch Homecoming?
No.
What's
Oh, it's also based off of a podcast. It's with Julia Roberts.
Oh, I heard about it.
good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Okay, it's
Worth
good.
checking out.
Watch it. Yeah.
I love Julie Roberts.
Me too.
She's coming to Build next week, guys.
Plug.
Yay! You guys, in a recent interview with The Cut, Lena Dunham admitted that she's not for everyone. When speaking about her reputation and her voice in the entertainment community, Lena also shared vulnerable details about her recent ovary surgery and struggle with endometriosis, as well as her previous relationship with ex-boyfriend Jack Antonoff and their public breakup. So
Who wants to
Lena
go first?
Dunham, Lena Dunham was in this piece in The Cut. I guess it's her attempted comeback, or at least a little check-in with her.
Did she leave?
She has
She's always
been.
been around.
She's
Yeah,
already-
right?
Well, she's been kind of sick for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's just like, hey, what have you been up to since Girls? She's kind of alluded and spoken about her sickness on her Instagram page.
She has a show Camping that was just
The show
released on
Camping.
HBO.
Yeah.
So she didn't really do heavy press for that because she was
There's just been
in and out of the
right, and
hospital,
there's been
yeah.
a lot of things going on with like her breakup and also the dissolution of her production company with Jenny Connor that she hasn't really addressed super explicitly.
And she doesn't really.
She doesn't.
She still doesn't.
The interview is interesting. One, I feel very bad for the health issues is so sad, and the fact that she can no longer have children, and I think she wanted to have children.
Yeah.
So sad. But I'm interested because the Jenny Connor breakup, her partnership with that was they did Girls together for how many years? And they technically did Camping together, but she really was barely involved in that. And now they're not a creative
Yeah.
partnership anymore. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. Her life has kind of gone up and down. Plus, she addresses that she thinks people hate her.
Which they do.
Which they do. And she kind of talks about that in very interesting, kind of very candid ways. Yeah.
I've never gotten Lena Dunham I've never understood her appeal or anything, and that's just me personally. And this article for me didn't really help because the things I think that rub people the wrong way, she sort of doubled down on in this article.
I totally
and
agree.
a part of me thinks that maybe that's her strategy, and she even mentions that Jack says like, you're kind of controversial, like a lot.
You're
without even
aiming
knowing
to
it.
just
Yeah,
please.
like
He
you're
said
aiming
you're a
to upset people.
provocateur,
That's
but
the
you
word.
don't even know it.
But I think she does know it, and
Yeah.
that she kind of gets off on it, which is like cool. She's made an entire career out of it, but I've never quite understood her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that Girls was interesting, and I definitely watched it because I felt like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
Not that everyone necessarily liked it. It was in the zeitgeist, so I kept up with it, but she continually is someone who always has her foot in her mouth. I mean, I remember being super offended and upset with her, is it my boyfriend or is it my Jewish boyfriend or a dog piece in the New York Times. The stuff she said about how she's not racist because she wants to fuck Drake. I mean, she is so continually offensive, and she doesn't ever feel reflective.
No.
Not even in this piece, I don't feel like she's
She does
reflective.
say with something, she's like, I'll talk to my therapist about that. Like, I think she's somebody who is actually reflective because it seems like she's been in and out of therapy for her entire life.
Yeah.
So I do think she's reflective, but she just doesn't, it's almost like she's so narcissistic or in her own world that it doesn't matter.
The one thing I did think that I agree with you on the most part, but when she talked about she's involved in the Me Too movement, she's kind of taking a step back, and that I felt like was very responsible.
She really messed up with that.
She messed up.
I couldn't believe that.
She messed up and apologized and took a step back. So actually,
bad.
to give her credit, I think she did actually not think about herself and like, I'm gonna remove myself from the movement. Yeah, I was also disturbed when she's popping zits on her Siamese cat Irma in the article. Did not need to know that.
Did cats get zits?
Did not even know
They're
they do.
hairless cat.
They can get zits. Even cats with fur can get zits. It's good to make sure that they eat out of glass bowls because they can get chin acne if you use plastic because bacteria breeds on the plastic.
Wow.
You know.
Whoa.
Yeah, cat facts.
The more you know.
Yeah.
We just see cat stars circling around.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. I thought that also the way she attributed her like privilege and like making mistakes, it didn't make, she was like, I'm really privileged. I went to New York City private schools. New York City private schools are actually known to like place such a high value on diversity.
Right.
And a lot of the people I know that have attended New York City private schools come from the most like diverse communities in those schools. In those schools.
Oh.
Those schools don't, if you're a high-ranking New York City private school, they emphasize diversity.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like faux diversity.
I think saying like trying to get kids, they're not diverse. I mean, they have scholarships and but I mean, truly, I don't think there's interaction with people of color to the level that is probably beneficial for somebody's life.
Yeah.
And she talks about that. She goes, I have blind spots when it comes to race because of where I grew up and how I grew up. I like that she's honest about that, but then she's constantly misspeaking, and Girls was just like the widest show ever. So again, she's not putting these things into action, which is why it's so constantly frustrating. It's like, if you know that you have blind spots, do better. Don't just like give yourself a black baby in the finale of Girls and call it good. Like, that's crazy.
Right. I never watched Girls, but I got why she blew up. She was really young. She was a talented writer. Girls was kind of unheard of at the time. So I understood why there was this big blow up with her, and HBO got behind her. And the exec who found her, like it was this whole kind of like, they found Lena and they, made this whole show. But she has so many projects now in the works. This movie with Quentin Tarantino's directing. She's doing a project that Steven Spielberg and J.J. Abrams is producing.
She's doing the Anna Delvey adaptation.
I think I believe in the best of people.
She has a very dedicated fan base, so I think she'll continue to be successful. She's not for everyone, and I think it's cool that she knows that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, according to an article, Marie Claire, Christmas tree eyebrows have become Instagram's latest trend. That's right, people are glamming up their eyebrows with nothing other than Christmas decorations to get into the holiday spirit. The eyebrow decorations trend started back in 2017 and has resurfaced again for this year's holiday season, going even more viral than ever before.
I love this.
Yeah, I mean, why not do stuff to your face? You have to wear the same face every single day. You gotta switch it up. Put some Christmas trees on there.
Why
put
not?
a little snowman. I say do whatever.
I think it looks amazing.
Subtle.
It's subtle, it's
Nice and
classy,
subtle.
it's festive.
Wait,
Why would you not try it?
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to see a biblical eyebrow though, like a manger
Oh,
scene.
that starts to get a little polarized.
Okay, but like
It's a little political.
I think just
too
Bible
political.
verses just across your face.
But like you could do like, you know, like the manger and the baby Jesus over here and then
and then like a Confederate flag over here. It's perfect.
That's what Christmas is about, guys. You forget.
I just
It's
want
about
the three
baby
wise
Jesus.
men. I do think this is really good for people who have like naturally thin eyebrows to like have a moment to shine. Because they can like add a bunch of stuff on and have that bushy look that's so popular, you know?
But if you have bushy eyebrows, don't want to making the tree
Yeah.
easier?
yeah.
That's funny because I thought that I didn't have enough eyebrow to pull off this look.
Oh, you do.
Oh, but I think you
thank
can
you.
add a lot of things to make them more full.
Yeah, but I don't want it to look like a cheap tree with not
Okay.
enough leaves and all ornaments, you know?
I see what you're saying. You don't want to have like a fake tree. My aunt has a tree that she keeps in the basement. It's plastic, and every year she just puts it up like an umbrella.
You don't want the Charlie Brown eyebrows or just
Yeah.
a stick.
Right.
No,
yeah.
I don't
And
want
speaking
that.
of trees, can we just talk about
They got that joke. Thank you guys.
can we talk about our First Lady, Melania Trump's Handmaid's Tale trees that are now decorating the White House?
Love.
Scary, scary,
I loved it.
scary.
She went from the White Witch of Narnia last year. There's Never Christmas to then literally there's the shining red blood down the White House. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her
Why?
youth about Christmas. What's happened to her? But she thinks this is festive.
There's nothing surprising about this.
There's
She
nothing.
is just trying to be best. This is what she thought would work.
The genius that put the handmaids hats on them, though, is a national hero.
Yeah, 100%.
Just that is
Merry
so
Christmas, America.
Yeah.
great. It is so great.
Did you guys celebrated Christmas growing up?
Yeah.
I'm Jewish, so I did not. Did you guys chop down your own Christmas tree? Because I know as a Jewish person, we always chop down our own menorahs.
Very common. Yeah.
No, I don't even know where they got Christmas trees in Puerto Rico. Like, how I just
have
thought
them?
about that. Yeah, we'd have Christmas trees, but I'm like, how do you ship them to the island? Because they don't grow there.
Yeah.
Such a good
That's
question.
interesting.
Wow.
I guess they would ship them.
Yeah, that's so weird. I can't-
Imports.
yeah.
Did you guys do colored lights or just white lights?
Colored.
Color.
Color, ornaments
Yeah.
everywhere,
What happened
crazy
to you?
ornaments.
No, I'm just saying we keep it classic white lights with silver or gold bulbs.
Oh
So not
my
surprised. That's
God.
Really
Classy.
beautiful, super classy.
That is
My mom's a
classy,
very
Nebraska.
classy lady.
Not surprised.
She would be like, I hate colors. I hate she hated those like schizophrenic trees.
I
She
would have
wanted it
thought that
very-
your mom would have had like
I know.
watches hanging up.
I know,
and,
because
like,
my mom's
crazy things.
super crafty and artistic,
Yeah.
and but no, she always had like very classic trees. And but
Wow.
now she's like bunk tradition. She's like, I'm not doing a tree this year,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but I want one.
My
Yeah.
mom's committed, even though like my brothers and I, no one's home, like to getting a tree. Like she
Yeah.
still decorates like the three of us are 5 years old, and
You
we wanted.
should,
No,
right?
we had such like so many lights, so many different ornaments, like just ranging from like the classic like gold bulbs. My favorite ornaments were these two nuns. You know I like nuns. One was like a skinny tall one, one was a fat nun, and I always hang them up, and I was like, these are my ornaments. They're the two nuns.
That is so odd.
I was a cool kid. I really
Did you
was.
have your own stocking?
Yes, we had stockings. Oh, Christmas was all out.
Yeah.
It was
What do you get in the stockings? Those are kind of like smaller gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, candy and socks.
gadgets, little things.
I love stockings. I'll just be good with one stocking.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
like
they're
stockings.
fun. They're exciting.
Yeah.
Because I like opening tiny things.
Me too. It's so cool.
But the feeling you had Christmas morning, like waiting to go downstairs,
so
like,
good.
Santa's here, oh my God. Oh God, good times.
That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much fun.
I
Do you
never had
guys? Did
that.
you guys ever believe in Santa Claus? I always.
Duh.
Oh, totally.
Oh, okay.
The
I totally
ultimate
believe-
wizard, Santa Claus, I definitely
The
believed
ultimate
in.
wizard?
I mean, think about it. He's magical powers. He has a lot of elves working for him. He delivers presents all in a night. He's a wizard of sorts.
Yeah,
right?
weren't there more takes on Santa like that? Like, there
Yeah.
should be movies where he's, like, doing witchy shit.
Yeah, like he's Gandalf, Dumbledore,
Yeah,
Santa
that
all
makes
together,
sense.
just like.
Huh.
I know. What a missed opportunity.
Did we just pitch something again?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
that's a
did.
new show.
We're so talented. I can't wait for us to blow up. Well, now it's time for our guests. They're creepy, they're crawly, and they're tasty. Edible bugs are nothing foreign to our next guest. Joseph Yoon is the executive director of Brooklyn Bugs, an organization that aims to raise awareness about edible insects through delicious, educational, and creative programming. Here today to help us taste test these edible creatures, please welcome Joseph Yoon. Woo!
Oh man.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lucas.
Hey, Lucas, how you doing? Hi, Allie.
What's up, Joseph?
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome,
Sophie.
welcome
Hi.
that way.
All right, where should
Right here.
Okay.
Have a
All right.
seat.
Oh, right in the middle.
Yeah,
I
it's all about you.
Oh, man.
feel. You know, can I just say, guys? I was hoping I would get a really cool mug like you guys always have, and lo and behold, thank you. Guys.
Yeah. Watching you, you're like
Awesome.
part of the team.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so I'm so excited. This all looks delicious and amazing. This doesn't even look like it has bugs on it, but now when I look closer, I see them.
Right.
So what is an edible bug? Can I just pull anything out and just start chewing on it? Or...
You know, that's a great question, and it's actually one of the kind of like myths, or almost it's like a romantic idea, like, oh, just go and eat a bug, but ooh, gross. Do you just go into the field and go, oh, look, there's a cow, I'm gonna eat it? Or, you know, you get it from your grocery store, or you get it from producers that you trust. And so all the bugs you see here are actually farmed and harvested for human consumption. Oh. And so that's a really big, important difference, because the motivation behind my work is because the UN addresses the issue of food scarcity and sustainability, and how are we going to feed the world's population in the future? And their solution to that was with edible insects. And so with that as sort of like the motivation behind the work, it really drives me and a lot of the community to try to find new ways to have people reinterpret their relationship with insects.
Wow.
So if you think about it, and please interrupt if I go on for too, if you think about it, we think of insects as pests or bugs that you want to kill. And what I'm trying to do is reframe people's mind and imagination so that they can appreciate this as something that is farmed and harvested for human consumption, that is something that can be in the pantry, and that can also be delicious.
Yeah, so I want to know a little bit more about the different types of flavors that we can find in bugs, because I'm imagining them like vegetables. You got to season them to make them taste good. Is that true?
Well, you know, like that's a great, I mean, because like with any sort of food, you can have the best cut of your favorite steak, and if it's not cooked properly, it's not going to taste good,
Yeah.
right? And so the same thing applies for the insects, where if it's not handled properly, or if it's not seasoned properly, or put in the right dish, it's not gonna taste. I don't think it'll taste very pleasant. So what I'm trying to do is give dishes to people that you guys can enjoy, or dishes where it doesn't look too foreign or crazy. It's like, oh wow, look at, what is that? Fried chicken? Yeah, and it's cricket crusted fried chicken. Oh,
Yum.
right?
Brittany,
Can you
also,
Okay.
if you could,
let's
tell us what everything is,
yeah,
and we'll
okay, yeah.
take
We'll
some...
start with these. You said.
Well, actually, you know, if we're gonna start in order,
Sorry.
I would say that there's, you know, well, actually, you know, if you want, I'm not one to say no to someone reaching for fried chicken. But you know, I did have some sauce here, some optional, just some like gorgonzola ranch. I didn't know if you guys are saucy or not.
Is there bugs in
But
that?
there is not in this. So what I did is I made this fried chicken, and what I'll just like kind of put some like over the middle, and
Looks
you guys
great.
can pick.
Smells good.
So what we have here is tempura fries. So it's a Korean style of double fried chicken, and so I added the cricket powder into the seasoning for the fried chicken, and also for the, here you go, Brittany.
So the crickets have been ground up? Is that
Yes,
correct?
it's been ground up, and, all right, here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Napkin for you.
Sure.
And I bought these nice napkins for you guys, and I forgot it backstage. I apologize.
That was a good entry point for me.
Okay, one,
So-
two.
All right,
you
yeah.
already did.
Yeah,
Bon
I'll have another one.
appetit.
That was great.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not offensive at all.
Right. So
That's really good.
So what I'm really trying to do is just either make foods that I crave, or food that people can relate to, that isn't like this crazy step of like, oh my God, I'm gonna eat this crazy bug. We do have some crazy
Yeah,
bugs
let's keep
coming
going
up,
through
though.
these, 'cause
All
there's
right.
some-
I think this one's like a really interesting and easy-ish sort of dish to work with, and it's a elote corn dish. And so I roasted some corn. have some red onions and some jalapeno. Top it off with some cheese.
And all those.
We added red termites.
Oh, wow.
Love it.
And the red termites, I think, will pair just perfectly with this dish. The texture, it also adds great texture. And, you know, so, yeah, please.
And so, if you ate a termite, like, what do you think how would you describe? Are they like spicy? Termites, I feel like
the termites
I have
are-
bad vibes with them because they ate a lot of my furniture once.
Oh, I know,
So
right?
this is my revenge.
Yes, nice.
Crunchy.
So, yeah, crunchy. I think it's got kind of like a nutty-ish sort of flavor.
Yeah.
And it has,
It's like popcorn kernels, kind of.
yeah, right. And that's why I kind of thought it would work really well with corn.
There's a crunch.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, have any of you guys tried eating edible insects before?
No.
No, I have not.
No? Oh,
It's funny when you
okay.
see their little legs all dried up and you're like, ah, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
It's good.
That was a good blend. You're right.
Yeah.
The crunchy with the corn and the.
I am so captivated by these little shrimps with, what are these?
Oh, yeah.
Are these spiders? Like, what is this? They're so cute.
All right. So, you obviously did not get your entomology degree.
No.
Do these look like
ants.
spiders? Yeah,
Those
exactly. Yes.
Ants.
Yeah. So,
I actually don't love shrimp.
Why are they?
so ants are actually a very interesting insect because.
They're fucking delicious.
Do you know about this?
No.
Have you tried? Oh, right. All right. So,
Ow, they kind of sting.
What?
Are they on
if
my
you
lip?
can guess, what flavor the ants have, no one, except for scientists, ever know the flavor
Barbecue.
of the ants.
Just like like barbecue or bacon.
Oh, I can see.
It has a citric note to it because black ants have formic acid as a defense mechanism. And so that formic acid
Yum.
to us tastes like citrus and acid. So that's why for me, I'm like, all right, let me just like poach some like shrimp and some court bouillon.
Ant lemonade.
And then put it with some shrimp. There are like little things, I suggest chewing it, chewing it a lot. And there's some sea bream on the
We
bottom.
don't eat fish, but it's a.
Oh.
I don't actually eat shrimp, but I'll try it. Why not? Just.
I'll have a bite of his.
Well,
If you
Lucas,
just dip your tongue on top of the ants, they go right on.
Lucas,
stuck
what
in
can I
my
say?
lip
I
gloss.
love that you don't usually eat seafood, but you are willing to try this.
Yeah.
Here, I will, in solidarity, also, cheers.
Yay.
So how did you discuss,
Oh,
as we go through
one's
these,
stuck in my teeth.
I know we want to get to these, but tell me as we're going through them how you discovered edible insects, like how you got into this.
Well, so, excuse me, as I chew.
Ants in my teeth?
No,
Any ants? No? No ants?
no.
So I'm finished chewing, so I'm not rude. If my parents see me talking with my mouth full, what will they say? All right, so, well, I got started because an artist friend of mine was working on an artistic project with edible insects and asked me if I would collaborate with her and help make some dishes. And once I did, I started doing some research. And it does not take very long for you to find and discover the UN's FAO report, Food and Agriculture Organization, in 2013, which, as I stated before, endorses edible insects as a solution to feeding the world's population in the future. So once I found out about that, it really motivated me to work really hard. And one of the fascinating things about what's going on as well is that there are over 1,900 types of edible insects. So as a creative and as a chef, like what an exciting new door and frontier. It's like chefs always want to be working with new products and like work with new things, new flavors. And for us to have something that is sustainable, that is proven to be nutritious, that is delicious or can be delicious, it's like a win-win-win on so many levels for me. And it really resonates for me very deeply.
We
Wow.
should do one more before we get
One
out.
more. But will you tell us just the insects on each of these, and we'll choose whichever one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and we could, so this one here, you guys may have had with your mezcal. It is a gusano worm.
Okay, that one looks
with
okay.
guacamole.
That reminds me of Pumbaa from The Lion King when he pulls out the slow. He's like,
yeah.
it looks so cartoony. It's so cute.
Yeah, that one is very cute.
Alcohol?
Okay.
Yeah.
And that one, it doesn't have alcohol, but it's found in the bottom of mezcal bottles.
He has
Yeah,
a drinking problem.
Yeah.
And then this one here is Vespula flaviceps, which are Japanese wasps, and it is paired with a barramundi sea bass crudo with a yuzu soy sauce and jalapeno.
That's beautiful.
This is a Manchurian scorpion on a lotus crisp and cucumber. And I can't be having all you lovely guys up here and not serve some kind of dessert.
Yum.
So we also have a beautiful chocolate mousse with crickets and...
I want the mousse.
I love a
Yeah.
chocolate
Yeah,
mousse.
I'm gonna go with
Chocolate
that.
mousse?
Oh, yeah.
So we can-
all right.
Thank
I can't be up here
Rick.
eating a worm. I don't think.
Shannon, here you go.
Ooh, thank you.
Sorry,
Oh
sorry.
my God, yummy yum. Thank you.
You're
Cheers.
welcome,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Oh, this is so good.
It's really incredibly validating and amazing for me to be on with you guys. Thank you guys
Thank
so much
you.
for
being here.
hosting
What you're doing
me.
is important work.
And you know, we're getting ready to go on a college tour next year. We have all these grants with some amazing universities who are committed to fund the research that we're doing and try to figure out solutions. And so, you know, being able to appear with you guys and stuff, it really does mean a lot. And so thank you guys so much. And thank you for trying.
Thank you all the work that you do.
Thank
This
you.
is so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. And we have some for the audience
Yeah,
to try
guys.
later if you guys want to try.
I'm bringing this out
I
to
did
you.
Oh, yeah.
make
My
some
gift.
extra, so yeah.
Yeah, so thanks again for joining us. And you can learn more about Brooklyn Bugs at www.brooklynbugs.com. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same table.
Woo!